Well, one of the most popular events among track and field followers in the New York area, the men's mile. A world record 3:46.32. Steve Cram of Great Britain established that at Oslo in '85. The American mark, 3:47.69. Steve Scott, who is in the field here. And there is the man that many think may be the next great miler, Wilfred Kirochi, 19 years of age from Kenya.
You know, if this guy, Wilfred Kirochi, doesn't run a 3:45 mile in the next 3 years, I'll eat somebody's hat as we look at Steve Scott. For a long time, the best American, still holds the American record, although a lot of people say that Joe Falcon there on the left of the screen is going to be the next American to be a dominant force in the mile. He's run 3:51.07 this year.
Among the other contenders in the field will be Jeff Atkinson, another American. He's wearing number 3. He's from Stanford and was a bronze medalist at this year's World Indoors.
And there's Marcus O'Sullivan, who won that race, the World Indoor Championship. He's, of course, known as the new chairman of the boards, took over from Eamon Coughlin, and with that title, wins all the big indoor races. Jose Luis Gonzalez, a 3:47 miler like Steve Scott, sometimes up and down. He's had some injury problems this year, but he ran the equivalent, the metric equivalent of a 3:50 mile just earlier this week. There we see Joe Falcon again. He fell in the NCAA championships. He won 7 NCAA championships while he was at Arkansas, but earlier this year he fell in the final of that race.
Young Wilfred Kirochi doesn't seem to be awed at all by the caliber of company that he's been in. As we chatted with him the other day, he just seems to get out there and enjoy the running, and he finished second to Bile in Italy last week in a 1,500 meter.
Also second to Bile at the Dream Mile in Oslo, where he ran 3:50.49.
Rest of the field, Tim Hackett, Mike Stahr, Terrance Herrington, Irishman Ray Flynn, John Quade, Doug Consiglio from Canada, David Campbell from Canada, and Mike Michno from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, expected to be the rabbit here. He is wearing number 10.
Michno was asked to take the field through a 55 first 400, 152 at the half mile. Of course, that would add up to a 3:44 mile. I don't think we'll see that today. It's a little warm now, as you have heard some athletes say, quite humid. But several athletes here are interested in running fast. New York has a great tradition of mile racing, of course, at the Millrose Games indoors.
We began our day under overcast skies. They have given way to a bright sunshine, and as you pointed out, the temperatures have really shot up here and approaching high 80s, 90 degrees now. Mike Stahr in second place at this point. Joe Falcon has moved into third, and the youngster from Kenya, Kirochi, starting to make his move, running in about 5th place, and now all the way up into 3rd.
You know, when we spoke with him yesterday, he said he wants a fast pace. He doesn't have faith in his kick. Although when you put together a miler, if you said who would make a good miler, you'd want to have a guy who has the speed of Carl Lewis and the strength of a marathoner, and this guy comes closer to that than anybody in the world. He's only 19, but he's finished 3rd in the World Cross Country Championships over 7.5 miles, and he's run a 1:45, 800 meters, very fast running indeed.
First quarter mile, 57.89. Is that the pace they were looking for?
Well, it's actually a little bit slower, and that was for the pacemaker who was out ahead of the other runners. So they're probably running around a 3:54, 3:53 pace. I think what we have here is a very competitive race as we see Kirochi moving up, and look at O'Sullivan shadowing him right behind. Marcus has never been that good an outdoor runner. He's always been an indoor specialist. This year he said what he was going to do is watch his weight. He said he used to gain weight outdoors. He's going to watch his weight. He's having the best outdoor season ever. He's run a 3:51 mile this season.
Jose Luis Gonzalez into 4th place, the Spaniard.
And they went by in 1:57.86 at the half mile, so the pace is lagging. It's now becoming a kicker's race. The guy with the best last lap is going to win this race.
Less than 2 laps to go on the track here at Columbia's Ween Stadium. Michno the Rabbit still on the lead.
You know, it was interesting when we talked to Kirochi, we said, who are your idols? Because in Kenya, they don't talk about Ruth DiMaggio or Mays. They talk about names like Kano, Rono, and Boyd. And he said, no, it's none of those guys. My idol is Carl Lewis.
And he has yet to meet him. He actually got his autograph at Oslo a few weeks back. And the Rabbit Michno leaves the field. Kirochi on the lead.
Well, and it's asking a lot of a 19-year-old. You know, he's the best 19-year-old as we see Steve Scott moving up on the outside. The best 19-year-old since a guy by the name of Jim Ryan. And that's a lot of pressure on him. He's in the lead. You can see he's relaxed. He's within himself as they come up to 1 lap to go now. And he's got a lot of good sprinters behind him.
O'Sullivan in second. Steve Scott in third.
Keep your eye on Gonzalez in fourth. Now, both he and Kirochi ran on Wednesday night in Italy. That's a lot to come all the way from Italy, travel here and have to run again. But Gonzalez normally has a great kick. He seems to be lagging. But look where O'Sullivan is, just where he wants to be, as we see John Quade, an American, move into fourth now.
O'Sullivan takes the lead from Kirochi. Scott goes by Kirochi. Scott running with O'Sullivan.
Tremendous experience, the first three guys. They put themselves just where they wanted to be. Gonzalez in third, looking strong, but O'Sullivan coming off the turn in the lead. It's a long last straightaway, Tim.
O'Sullivan with Scott, and O'Sullivan starting to stretch it out. Gonzalez moving on Scott. O'Sullivan staying on top. Kirochi into fourth. It's going to be Marcus O'Sullivan, Steve Scott, and Gonzalez.
3:53.59 unofficially. A good time on a warm day like this. And it looked like Marcus O'Sullivan used all his Irish savvy on that one, all the experience from indoors to time his move just right. He was in the right place.
And we omitted to mention one of the more
very popular miler here in the New York area. Is run often at the indoor meets here in the New York area.
For all of their help in connection with the organization.
Lives in Pennsylvania now. Former Villanova College star, native of Ireland, and two-time world indoor champion. So this is a very good win for Marcus O'Sullivan. He's never equaled his indoor success outside, but has a 3:50.94 indoor mark in 1988.